what about
eHarmony?
eHarmony, yeah.
Remember that? Oh, it's still going?
Yes.
I thought it phased out.
You know, not even that. What about those late night commercials? They're like, do you want to call me? You can call me anytime. What about that? Those are considered, right? Yeah, they are. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all don't see them? Y'all not up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't hear that?
But they're not really cool.
You need medication.
She said, well, hold up, I'm single.
I can't get online, man.
They are. I want to welcome Tavon, MONTS, and Stephanie ALVA to the Beat Break Radio Show.
Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing?
What's up, y'all? We're good. How y'all doing? Indeed,
Yes,
taking over.
That's the highly favored. Enjoying all this fantabulous in this room right now.
Yeah, shout out to Lola B for having the Moscato and the Jamaican soda crackers and the
water
crackers.
Water
crackers. Oh, my bad.
No, they're not just crackers, yo.
I want
a true thing. I'm a water cracker, them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sound like that in my head.
Thing, you know. All right.
But I want you guys in Twitterville to understand that they're shaped like bowls. This is so fly.
It is.
And they're fat free.
Oh yes.
I don't count calories. I count burritos.
How you doing? They're fat free.
Did you hear what he said?
I'm looking out. I heard
you
that.
looking out for me.
I'm looking out for you,
Thank
Stephanie.
you.
I'm looking out for
I'm glad somebody is. I'm trying to de-swallify and get my, situation right. Yeah.
That makes 2 of us. Wait,
I'm not supposed to say that. Get my situation right to her.
I'm sorry. What was that word again?
Oh, de-swallify. It's called the de-swallification process.
De-swallification.
Yeah.
Copyright
Thank
my
you.
like you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it. I mean, feel free to use it whenever you want to.
My like keys, yeah.
I think it's hilarious because the fact of the matter is one of the areas that we specialize in is relationships. So the fact of the matter is you can take MySpace and Facebook and Twitter and eHarmony and all these other sites off of the planet, and if people are determined to cheat, they're going to cheat.
Exactly.
It's just not going to be online.
Exactly. I mean, because the thing is, before there was a Facebook, a MySpace, a Black Planet,
Any
Planet, Your Planet, there was still,
Booyah.
exactly, Blue Rock, there was still adultery. So even if you had the power to take away every social media networking site in the world, adultery's been around for a long time. So,
Okay. Well, I know, Tavon, you're from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes.
And Stephanie, you're from California.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you all been here?
well, I've personally been in Atlanta for the past 2 years now, for me. And
I was bi-coastal. I always feel weird saying that. I was bi-coastal for the first 6 or 7 months of this year, and I've been here for 3 months.
3 months.
Today. 3 months today. What's the anniversary?
It's a celebration.
Let's have some
Oh,
Moscato.
can I get some Moscato? Lift it up. Lift it up.
It is a
I'm
celebration.
drinking communion water.
It's all right.
We'll do you right at the Beat Break Radio Show.
That's right. We like it here. We need our own show.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Speaking of that, you do have your own show, or did you have your own show?
You mean on radio?
Yes.
Well, we had a blog talk radio, but we've been so busy that we literally have done one show. And that's like when we first started the account. And then there was a couple of radio stations that we've done interviews with recently that after we left, they were kind of like, what do you think about doing your own show here? I'm like, we think it's fantastical. So we're hoping that something comes from that.
Okay. Now, before doing motivational speaking, what were you all doing?
Oh, wow. Well, it's kind of weird. Personally, I was still motivating people, but my job was, I grew up on a farm in Fort White, Florida. After that, I used to work at the fire department, JFRD in Jacksonville, Florida. I was an EMT, certified EMT.
Okay.
Before that, I was doing, regular jobs as far as debt collections, just trying to make things happen. And then once I lost my job and everything. What up? I was a debt collector.
Yeah, that was him.
It was probably me. It was probably me.
Him.
Yeah, I was probably spit. No, it's cool. Nah, it's cool. Yeah, hey, I completely understand what you're going through, man. But I was a good guy who actually had something to try to, work things out for you. I wasn't trying to keep banging on your door. But no, real talk. But after that, when I first came to Atlanta, I was homeless and I got a job at Best Bank. I was working at a bank, and then I knew that wasn't gonna be forever. And then once that job was done, it just fell into to where my calling came to stop beat around the bush and go do what you know you're supposed to do. And then whenever my sister here offered me the position, my life keys, then I was like, that's when God was like, all right, it's time. You're gonna take it or leave it. And we've been running ever since.
That's great. So I also know that you used to host pajama parties back in the day.
Yes.
See, you had something to say when I had my party.
Yeah. I talk about my party. Yeah, when I was in college at Clemson University, shouts out to Clemson University. I was always an entrepreneur, and there was a time whenever everybody used to complain to me, we tired of the same parties at the same places, so I took it upon myself. But you know what? All right, I got y'all. Okay, all right, what y'all want? And they were like, how you gonna do it? You by yourself. Made a team, Monster Entertainment, and I threw these annual pajama summer slammers at Clemson University, the legendary. And every summer, Walmart always sold out pajamas. When I used to come in town and do my pajama summer slammers.
Wow. So, yeah. And I also read that Walmart gave a discount to the people who also bought the pajamas.
Yes, in Central South Carolina, which is a good maybe 5 minutes outside of Clemson, is a new super center Walmart. And the students were coming. I had what I do with the manager, and he kind of laughed at me at first. And after the first year, all the pajamas was gone. I came back and said, hey, it's me again, Tavon Monts. He was like, yeah, we can work something out here. Yeah, we can do something real good. So for the students at Clemson University that actually came to the Walmart and they said this is for the pajama summer slams for Monster, and then they got a 20% discount for their pajamas. And needless to say, Walmart sold out it was 3 years in a row when I did it.
Wow. And that also shows the community what you can really do. If you feel a need to do something, it's, like you said, your calling, or even for the moment, do it.
Right,
so.
Just do it. Like it may seem uncomfortable. You may not have people, who are right behind you, but if you know deep down inside that your calling, you have to step out on faith and do it and make it happen. Because people are watching, and not only it's not so much paying attention to haters because you don't do that, but there are people watching you who are being inspired by you, by you doing it and going out and doing it. So definitely.
That's so true. Now, Stephanie.
Yes, ma'am.
I hear back in the day, you used to be a gospel singer. Or you sung in a gospel group.
I did. I actually was part of a group called the Gospel Gangsters, who are pretty much one of the main forefathers of gospel rap. I was the singer of the group. It was me and 4 guys. So it was kind of lonely. We were on tour for close to 2 years. We did, we worked with Kirk Franklin, Yolanda Adams. We were on, MTV, BET, Bobby Jones Gospel. We worked with a lot of different people. On tour, it was kind of interesting because we were a Christian group, and so there was the lines you couldn't cross. Like, I couldn't sleep in the same, hotel room as them, so I was by myself a lot. I had my own dressing room because I couldn't change where they changed and stuff. So it was, I feel like it was a place and a time in my life that God used to hone my craft for what I was called to do, which was to be a life coach and a motivational speaker. Okay. At the time, I really didn't have a title for it. I just knew that I kind of had this fire in my belly and that I was really good at honing in on people's issues and showing them a solution or drawing the solution out of them. And so the time that I spent on tour and alone, most of the time, it was just time for me to listen and to open up and really hone my craft. Okay. So, yeah. That was interesting. I love that. It was a really good experience.
That's great. Well, I don't want to make you relive this moment, but I also read that, during time your grandmother passed.
Yes.
And which also helped you realize your calling.
Yes.
You made promises to her on your deathbed, and also used to do PR work.
Yes. Yes, my grandmother, Mary ALVA, she was the person who raised me. I have a mother, and she also raised me as well, but the main person in my life was my grandmother. And she had a stroke, and I was the last, like, I took care of her for the last few years of her life. And there was these moments that I would have with her, and I would be washing her hair, or, you know, I had to give her a bath and stuff like that. And sometimes I'd be irritated, like, man, I'm going out last night, I'm tired, you know. But all of a sudden, this peace would come over me, and I would realize that nobody is going to have these moments with her except me. And that I was able to give this gift back to her, then she took care of me. And she was the only person on the face of this earth that loved me from the time she knew about me until the time she closed her eyes.
Wow.
And so, you know, I was blessed with the opportunity to take care of her. And on her deathbed, before she slipped into a coma, I promised her that I would, I had gained, I went through a really bad time when I was like 19 or 20 years old. I was in an abusive relationship. And I was always known as the pretty girl, like, oh, she's so beautiful, and all the fellas were like, how you get her? How you get her? I'm like, you know, I had that kind of attitude. But the relationships I was in were so bad, I felt like, okay, if I can keep dudes away from me by gaining weight, this is great.
Wow.
So I gained literally 200 pounds.
Wow.
And I was close to 400 pounds. I was 360. And so I promised her on her deathbed that I would finish losing the weight, that I would take care of her family the way that I promised I would take care, you know, the way that she did, and that I would do some sort of continuing education, and that I would walk in my purpose.
Wow.
And so even if I wasn't able to keep the promise for me, I would never break a promise to her.
Sure.
So she was very fundamental in getting me here.
That's great. Wow. So you all also mentioned earlier that that you both happen to be homeless.
Yeah, I bought my first house when I was, we're